As we begin adjusting to the idea of retirement, we've got a big retirement party. Suddenly we're not going into the office every day. We go into stage 2, which I've called the transition zone. We're in a transition period in our lives where the old is no longer there for us, and yet we're not sure what's coming next. We suddenly have a lack of routine. Imagine you wake up one day and you don't have that routine of your work, going to the job and all the daily activities that you go through. There's a loss of social status and a loss of identity. I remember the week after I had my retirement party and I was no longer going into the office, I went to the annual mayor's lunch where he talks about the state of the city, what happened last year and all of the dreams and visions for the next year. And at the beginning, there's a whole networking where everybody goes around, passes out their business cards, says, "Hi, how are you? I'm so-and-so, this is what I do. Who are you?" And I started looking around. I didn't have business cards to hand out. I wasn't the CEO of Pasto Mental Health, the largest mental health agency in the region any longer. I didn't know who to introduce myself as. That identity was suddenly missing. That's part of the transition zone. Who are we going to be in the future? There's a loss of socializing. For many of us, our jobs are so key. A lot of our socializing happens around work. A lot of our friends, whether we're having coffee, lunch with them, going out for a drink afterwards on the weekend, revolves around work. Suddenly, when that disappears, if you don't have other friendship groups, there's a real sense of isolation. And who do you relate to on a daily basis? And we know the importance of having human contact is key for our mental wellness. So the more your friendship groups are tied into work, the more at risk you are when you move into this transition zone and you don't have all of these people to relate to on a daily basis. Relationship stress with your partner at home. Either they're still working and you're not, and suddenly you've got all this time in your hand, and why aren't they around? Or they're around a lot too because they've retired and you're getting in their hair because they're busy already and you want them to spend time with you. There's all kinds of stories. I'm seeing lots of nods and lots of smiles. People can relate to that. The interesting thing I found in my research when I delved into this is the media talks about those terrible stories about divorces and conflict and marital discord. I interviewed 110 people. I didn't come across one of those serious, difficult, struggling periods for those people. Lots of people had stories about transitional stresses in the relationships, but the message I took away was if you had a strong relationship before you retired, you had many bumps in the road throughout the years, and you were resilient as a couple and you knew how to deal with it. This is just one more bump, and you dealt with it. There's some wonderfully humorous stories. If I have time, I'll share one or two of them with you.